Musicals generally have a lot more scenery, they have more characters, so they have more actors, which means a lot more fabric for costumes, a lot more scenery pieces get involved, and they are a lot more expensive to produce because everything like that costs money. Nothing goes down in price year to year. And of course, in order to produce a play, you have to pay royalties to the company that owns that piece. BMI owns Urinetown the musical, and so we're doing this show in collaboration with the music department. So the music department paid for the royalties, which I think are about $750 a performance. And then they're also paying the accompanists, who are the rehearsal accompanists as well as performing in the pit during the show. The instrumentalists are primarily students, and so they're doing it for credit. There are 4 faculty involved: the scene designer Eric Koger, the director Christina Maturo, the musical conductor director Dr. Heidelbrecht, and then myself as costume designer and department chair. I serve as the producer. I would say with cast, orchestra, and people who aren't in the show but are working on it for class credit, probably 50 or more students are involved in it. 4 student assistants. They get paid to work in the scene shop. They're working 4 to 6 hours a week to get it up. Some of them work up to 20 hours a week because some of the ones who are employed by us work 10 to 20 hours a week. Then if they're in a leadership position, they might have prep work for that job outside of the hours they're getting paid.
So pretty much from my role is to prep anything for my master carpenters to do in sense of like either cutting things out, building things. Also for a technical director, it's the aspect of not just the master carpenters, it is also the master electricians, the painting crew, making sure that all of their stuff is on time, done properly, and done safely. On a daily basis outside of class, generally I will spend anywhere from 8 to 10 hours working on the show.
It really all depends on what your role is and what your position is, because everybody has responsibilities that need to get met before the show opens. So if you get behind on your work, you're going to need to put in more outside hours. My crew, I think there's 3 or 4. Essentially, they'll come in 2 or 3 days a week, and we'll give them assignments and tasks to do for several hours. I think they have to have 8 hours per week. They'll come in, and any odd job that needs to be done, we'll have them typically do it. Like if we need, screws sorted or other things like that, we can do that, have them do that, or depending on where we are in the process, we'll have them work on bigger things like installation.
The Cladwell window piece, I built the frame. I did have some help even. I think it took me about 4 to 6 hours to do altogether.
I'm the co-master electrician and lighting designer, so anything to do with lighting, I have my hand in it. Every day 1 to 5 I'm in the shop, and then anytime after 5 I'm probably up in the booth. So any day between 1 to 1 in the morning I'm probably up here.
It's so hard to count because it's like a lot of outside time doing research and then figuring out stuff, and then let's try this idea when I go in tomorrow, and then seeing if it works or not. And if it doesn't work, you got to go back to the drawing board. I really can't put a number on it. I feel like it's a 24-hour job, honestly, because when I'm working on a show, I kind of eat, sleep, breathe this show for a hot minute, trying to figure out what's going to work and what's not.
I think we have probably between 100 to 150 cues. To do each cue, it really depends on the scene. For Act 1 finale, it probably took Troy and I 2 days to get that right. Just constantly changing, even tiny things that nobody would notice. It's this needs to be 10% brighter.
It's hours, more hours, more hours, just trying to make everybody happy along with keeping our own creative integrity on the show.
Even throughout the process, we'll need to resupply along the way based on what our needs are. Typically it depends on mistakes. So for instance, we'll get 8 sheets of Luan at the beginning of it. We'll go through it. People will be learning along the way, and if somebody accidentally makes the wrong cut, we'll need to go out and buy another one. Because typically we'll try and leave a little bit of wiggle room when it comes to purchasing things, but things get expensive.
The set budget for this show was $3,000. I'd be surprised if we managed to come in under that, because there was a lot more than normal that had to be purchased for this show. The lighting budget, usually the $3,000 for scenery covers any needs for lighting and sound and properties. The theater department underwrites the cost of tickets, advertising, scenery, costumes, etc. And then when it's all over, we'll split the gate.